Howdy YouTube, a really cool review for you today. A figure I've been really excited to get my hands on, and that is the Neca Terminator Genisys T-1000. A very cool figure. Certainly, I was a fan of the Terminator Genisys movie. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. There were only a couple of things I didn't like, but overall, great. The T-1000 in the movie, I think, was brilliant. It really showed how much of a sinister, scary villain the T-1000 can be. Obviously, Terminator 2, one of the all-time great movies ever made. The T-1000 is probably one of the best parts of that movie, and that's because it is such a great, relentless villain. Plus, you know, it's dressed as a cop, and that's always cool and makes us some great-looking figures. But very excited to get this guy opened up. I'm interested to see with the alternate torso accessory how that's going to work and everything like that. But yeah, a really cool-looking figure. Comes in the standard Terminator Genisys style packaging. Neca not too long ago changed for a more sleeker, thinner type card packaging. But yeah, let's get this guy opened up. Just taking a quick look at the back of the packaging, you'll see that the other figures available, we've got the Terminator Guardian, and then this one, which is the 2017 Terminator figure, which looks fantastic as well. If you haven't seen my review on the Terminator Genisys Arnie, make sure you check that out. It is a brilliant figure. The description on the back for the T-1000 says, made up entirely of mimic polyalloy, this Skynet Terminator can withstand high voltage shock, reassemble if partitioned, and replicate humans or objects encountered by physical contact. His strength, of course, his high speed and extreme strength make this conductive metal mass nearly indestructible in both solid and liquid forms. Cool. Weakness, he is susceptible to extreme temperatures. Lows will slow or freeze the battle unit, and then obviously he gets shot, while extreme highs and molten can damage or ultimately render it inoperable. Same, I guess, goes for acid too, which is obviously how they defeat him in the movie. Interesting facts, upon creation, the T-1000 is assigned a default humanoid template. Interesting. Well, that's very cool. Let's get him opened up. Now, just before I review this guy, 100% get him. He is probably my favorite Neca Terminator figure. And the thing I wanted to say is that prior to getting this guy, the Motorcycle Cop T-1000 was my favorite, just because I love the Motorcycle Terminator look. I think it just looks badass. It's really cool and just such a great villain as well. But it has its flaws. You've seen it falls over. It has a very hard time standing. All of these T-1000 figures do. Why? Because it is pre-posed. It has no articulation in the legs. This new T-1000 does have articulation, which means it stands perfectly. You can set it up how you want to set it up, and it's got a lot more detail as well. So please re-release this T-1000 using this body mold and articulation. That will be an amazing, amazing figure, and it will sell like hotcakes. So with that, let's get on to the T-1000. I'll quickly show you guys some of the accessories he comes with, because then I want to talk a little bit more about the figure. He comes with the alternate, I guess, normal head, which to compare, I guess I'll do it a little bit later, but you can see the T-1000 from Terminator 2. He also comes with a metal stub where he gets his hand shot off. One thing I didn't know it came with that I think is brilliant, very cool. In the movie, obviously, he gets a bit of his own liquid metal, I guess, and turns it into a spear, which he then uses to throw, and I think it's cool that they included that. That's a great accessory right there. He comes with some alternate hands, and then one thing I think is interesting is rather than coming with the pistol that the T-1000 in Terminator 2 had, he comes with this nicely detailed revolver. I don't know how well it's going to show on my camera, which is rapidly degrading as time goes on, actually. But yeah, just a nice detail on like even the metal portion of the gun, little grooves and everything there. I think that's a very well detailed accessory. Okay, now for the actual T-1000. I think they absolutely nailed the actor's likeness from the movie. I can't remember his name, but you can probably look that up. Now, initially I thought, and with the previous T-1000 figures, that this was all just sort of peg on type accessories. It's not. It's actually molded into the body. So you have to actually detach this upper torso bit, which is quite easy. You'll see me do it a little later on, and then replace it if you want a pristine look. But moving down, lots of nice detail. You can see obviously on the back and everything too. I love this added articulation. That is a big plus. Just for comparison, I will bring in the Terminator 2 T-1000. You can see there's a difference in color, also very different face sculpt and everything like that. But yeah, definitely I think the newer one is much nicer. The belt, I think just because it's a lighter shade, I think looks a little nicer. But having said that, it is just a significantly better figure, this new T-1000. So well done, Neca. You nailed the crap out of this. Really cool. One of the other things I really love is that you can actually take the head off. It is on a ball joint, and swap it for any of the other heads. So you can, if you really wanted to, create your own T-1000 from Terminator 2 using this mold, which is fantastic. At the same time, I think the normal face, they did a good enough job on that. Now, articulation, he's got a ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, ball-jointed elbows. He's got like the ball joint in the wrist because it comes in and out. Swivel in the waist. He's got legs that move out and in, forward and back. Ball-jointed knees, and then swivel in the ankles. So a ton of articulation, which is very, very appreciated and welcomed from previous Terminator figures. Now, to swap the torsos, you literally just pull the head back and it peels off like so. And then what's really nice is that the new piece literally just pegs in. So it's, not too difficult. Look at that for a jinx, by the way. There you go. So there is our pristine T-1000, ready to go to another shift on the beat, hunting humans. I'm not going to be able to hold the spear in that hand, but luckily they give you two alternative ones. But yeah, just a great figure, lots of nice detail. If you're a Terminator fan, 110% you need to find this guy and get him. So overall, a brilliant figure. Probably my favourite NECA figure released as of late. Even if you don't like the Terminator Genisys movie, do yourself a favour and pick up the toys that they've released for it, because they are some of the best figures NECA have ever produced. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review on the NECA Terminator Genisys T-1000.